Hello? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Casey. So in today's topic, I'm going to talk about how to not get yourself attached in the dating phase. So I took a lot of notes, as you can see, and we're just gonna get started. Honestly, who am I to talk about this? I'm just talking from my personal life experience and what I noticed, because I've been in a phase where I've been stuck in limerence for a month. And for those who don't know what limerence is when you're stuck on a person and you can't move on. Whatever you do, you wake up, you're thinking of them. You're driving, you're thinking of them. You're trying to focus, they're still in your mind. Your mind keeps bringing them up no matter what you do. Even though it's over, your brain cannot accept the fact that it's over, and you feel some type of hope that you guys might get back together. Or I was not dating them, it was just a talking stage, but it was that bad that I had to, I was stuck in limerence for a month. And it has nothing to do with the person or something that they did that kept me so emotionally attached to them, but it had to do with me, me as a person. I'm the one that needed healing. Because a lot of my friend was like, what did he do that make you so attached? What did he do? And I'm like, it has nothing to do with him. Yes, I liked him, but mind you, at first I didn't like him at first, and through his action or whatever, that's when I started liking him. But it ends, or when there's ghosting, because I think he ghosted me after. And then when I feel when your brain doesn't know what happened, that's when you start ruminating and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened, da 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 da. So that's what happened to me, and I stayed in that space for month, and I was even mad at myself for not moving on. I'm like, bro, what's my problem? Why can I not move on? And my problem was that I couldn't accept the fact that it was over. I still have this small hope that it was gonna work out. And I think something that really helped me, I made a whole video about that, how to get out of limerence. Something that really helped me was really accept the fact that it's completely over. There's no get back, there's no turn around. He's not gonna come back. This is not a no contact type of phase. He's moved on. I think that really helped me move on. But then I really learned after him. I've also been in a talking stage with other people, and even though we don't talk anymore, I was able to not be attached as I was before. I'm able to easily move on now, and I think I've learned how to date healthily, and I want to share that with you guys. The introduction was kind of long, but I had to explain where I'm coming from. So yeah, so this is what I learned, how to date healthily. First of all, do not create any imaginary character or ideal character in your mind. Do not make up a scenario. Do not create an idealized version of who the person you're talking to is. Accept the person for who they are and take them for who they are, and observe them from what they do in real life. Don't create a scenario. I know it's so easy to already see ourselves in the future with someone that we like, someone that we're talking to, but I think that already starts blinding you to their character or who they really are. You start creating a character of who they are in your mind, and that's not even who they are in real life. So then it's really hard for you to move on. In case you guys stop talking, it's harder to move on. So yeah, don't create any future with that person just yet. Just observe. Start observing their character, their values. Does this align with my life? Is this the kind of person I want to have in the future? And also ask a lot of questions, not really surface level question, but deep level question. And observe how they react in stressful situation. Observe how they react. Pay attention to their character. How do they react when they're angry? Are they emotionally mature? Do they know how to communicate when you did something they didn't like? How do they communicate with you? Do they make you feel bad about yourself just to get their point across? When you guys are fighting, or when you guys, I feel in a talking stage, you shouldn't be fighting. Yeah, disagreements, but how do you get over those disagreements? You know, does he come to you? Does he try to understand you? Does he always, or does he only try to make his point right? Does he always try to prove that he was the one who's right, or does he try to understand you and understand where you're coming from? Does he make you feel bad about yourself when he's addressing something? Like, just pay attention to those little things, because I think in a talking stage is where it's mostly important. Like, it's very important to observe. I think in a talking stage, yes, it's, well, me personally, I date to marry, right? But it's still important to pay attention and observe the person in the beginning, to be able to pick up on little red flags before it becomes something bigger in the future. And I know that no one is perfect, but then two people that are very different or won't be able to date, and you have to pay attention with what you prioritize in your life and what they prioritize. And if you guys don't have values that align, it's gonna be harder to date, it's gonna be harder to walk together. How do they talk to waiters, or like how are they with people? Like, even if someone asks for the number or whatever, like, how do they react? Do they shame people? Do they push people away? Are they respectful? How do they treat people, even people that they can't get anything from? All of that really matters, because you can't be like, oh, my man is only nice to me but he's mean to everybody else. Like, I feel like if you feel some type of way about that, or makes you feel special, you need help. So yeah, when you're observing, you're in the observing phase, or you're observing their character, pay attention if you guys' values align. And from there, as soon as it's like, no, we don't align, please stop packing your bags already, because the more that you keep spending time with them, feelings are gonna start building up, and you're gonna start being blinded and be like, oh, maybe it's not that big of a deal, maybe in the future he's gonna change. Guys, you can't change a person. You really can't change people. You can't change people. I'm so serious. You can have chemistry, but if your values don't align, like, what's the point? You can have really good chemistry and not be able to walk together, and that's still a good reason to walk away. That's still a good reason. You guys can even be friends, but men have a harder time being friends with the woman that they're attracted to. So I guess that's something I learned while talking to people. I don't know why. Like, I'm still capable of, like, we can stay friends. I don't mind. We can stay friends. But if I try to say in like, let's say you guys were talking, then after you stopped talking and then they started dating other people, how would their partner feel about you guys still being in contact? I don't think that should be an issue. If the partner is secure and both of you respect each other's boundaries, you don't have to become enemies, you know. But I just think that men have a harder time staying friends with women they find attractive. I think that still makes sense though. Am I able to stay friend with a guy that I find attractive? I think I do, but I think to respect their partner, if they do start dating somebody, I'll stay away. Like, I'll stay away. I don't want to create any issue. Plus, I find you attractive. It would not be respectful to your partner, you know, because I'm trying to also put myself in the partner's position, and I'm like, you're messing with someone who finds you attractive. I don't know, you know. But yeah, and yeah, I want to add one more thing. One thing I noticed about myself, it's so important to be very up to observe, to learn about them, to observe the character. I'm so good at that, and I'm so good at just, you know, paying attention. Do we align? Like, okay. And then I ask questions, forget to have fun. I forget to enjoy the time. We don't always have to talk about deep conversation all the time. I forget to do that, and I guess that's something that I really reflected on, and I'm like, girl, like, yes, you want to meet someone that aligns with you, your values, but don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to live in the moment. Don't forget to enjoy your time with that person. One thing I also learned is that a man can be all perfect, all like, you know, the honeymoon phase. I don't know where they ghost. You know what I learned from ghosting is that just enjoy the moment. Like, I'm not saying date in fear and expect that they will ghost you, but enjoy the moment, because you never know when it might end. And I know it's a bad way to think of it, like it's a bad, I don't, it's not totally positive, like you're expecting it to end. But instead of thinking of it ending it or working out, just enjoy the moment. Like that's just one thing I learned, because if you just attach yourself to the future and all that, I think that's when like you start being really attached to the person, and when it ends it's much harder to move on. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing when you take time to move on, but sometimes isn't it best to learn to know how to do something a healthier way, rather than, I don't want to call it wasting time, because healing is never wasting time. Like when I was in my phase of limerence, that was not me wasting time, but through that phase, that really helped me stay healthier. Now, am I perfect? I wouldn't say that, but I honestly think that the more you date people, the more you get to know yourself, the more you learn how to date healthier, the more you learn how to communicate better, the more you learn where you need healing and why this and this triggered you. It can be such a small thing, but you start questioning, why did that trigger me? Like every single time I'm talking with somebody, I learn so much more about myself. So much. But also I would have wished someone would have told me how to not attach myself to somebody when I'm dating them, like how to date healthier. And that's why I'm making this video. There's a difference with someone who dates you just because they like you, and someone who dates you because they want to get to know your soul. They want to really get to know you. Like I feel like there's a difference. Or people that just date you because they're bored but they find you attractive, so they don't want to miss. I don't know. Like I think there's a difference. And oh my gosh, there's a difference with someone who's just bored and simply just sees an attractive woman and just wants to talk to them, while there's someone who really wants to have a relationship with you. I think there's a big difference. And I think the more you date, guys, date men that are your type. I mean, you are their type. When you date someone that you're their type, you know, like just by the way that they treat you, there's some things that you don't have to ask. There's some things that you really don't have to ask. And I get that some people like to say, if you don't communicate, how would they know? But a lot of the time when a man dates their type, they know how to treat the woman. There's a lot of the things that she wouldn't have to communicate. Oh yeah, and another thing is, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare him to your last talking stage or your last relationship. Don't compare. Literally don't compare, because I think that's when a lot of argument, conflict, frustration come from comparison. And it's so hard to say that as a human being, because we're so quick to compare ourselves to other people. Oh my gosh, he's doing that for her, but you're not doing it for me. Like, does that mean that you don't love me? We have to learn that people love differently. Like people show love differently. Everyone have different love languages. Everyone grew up differently. So if you see someone on social media showing their love language and you're comparing them to your partner, it doesn't make sense, because they grew up in different environment. They are showing a different type of love language than your partner is showing it to you. And also, like, you have to, I guess sometimes you do have to teach them what you like receiving and what you like giving, because sometimes people's love language, love language of giving might not match with what their partner is receiving. So then I guess you would have to teach them, what is your love language, what do you like to receive, and what you like to give. So yeah, in the beginning also, like, show them exactly who you are. Show them exactly what you will put up with, what you won't put up with. Because if you start in the beginning really soft and you're passive about things, later on it's gonna just be much exhausting to communicate, hey, I don't like that. But they're like, well, in the beginning you accepted it, why is it a problem now? That's gonna become an issue in the long run. But if you show them exactly who you are in the beginning, what you will put up with, what you won't put up with. I think they will get used to that. They will get used to that. You're already training them to your personality and who you are from the get-go, from the beginning. So yeah, and lastly, if they start, and that's the most important part of this video, how to not get attached when they move on, or when they ghost you, or when it ends, how to not get attached. So if they start already showing signs of inconsistency, they start like not being very consistent, or just being more distant and everything, they're either testing you or they lost interest. But anyways, that's not your responsibility to carry that. So you could either communicate that, or you could just move on as well. Like, you could either communicate or move on, not be reactive. But there should be a consequence to their lack of inconsistency. You just have to hold yourself back more than what you used to give or who you used to be with them, and they would notice a shift, and they're like, so why are you acting this way, da 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 da. I think bad communication is much better, because it throws the guessing mind games out of the window. You simply communicated and you were direct with them. But if you don't have time for all those kind of games, I really think that if a man is interested, why would he have a chance? Why would he leave a chance to make you distance yourself from him? Like, sometimes I don't understand why men do this, but either way, it's gonna be your decision on what you want to do from now. Do you either want to communicate it and work over this because it became inconsistent, or do you want to move on? So whatever you do, if you decided to communicate it, you're just gonna observe whether he changed or not. If he didn't, honey, you know what to do. So if you decided to move on, you don't have to block them off, but whatever it is, like, don't reach out, don't text him, don't nag him, don't do any of that. Just let him be. Like, he decided to be inconsistent, he knows exactly what he's doing. When he was much consistent, you didn't have to tell him. So why do you have to tell him now that he's being inconsistent? He knows exactly what he's doing. And I think it's also a human thing. When a human really receives something consistently, and then you take that away from them, you start playing a game, you start playing in their mind. And I think some men who have that emotional intelligence and turns it into manipulation, they know what they're doing, and don't give them the chance to be like, yes, I got her, she came back, now she's nagging me, now she's texting me, now, oh, she called me. Like, there you go. Like, this manipulation worked. I feel like reaching out to a man when he start playing games is you rewarding him. I think that's you rewarding him, because you're rewarding his actions. Just ignore it, move on. And because if you keep waiting on him, especially if you're in a non-contact phase, that's when it can open the door to limerence, because you're kind of like, whatever, he's not talking to me, but at the same time, but what if he reaches out, what am I gonna say? And it just keeps you in a middle ground. Like, you have to make your decision of being done, and you're really done. And yes, your mind will sometimes bring up the good conversation you all had, the chemistry, all that, but then you have to stand on your decision that it's over. Basically, it's like closing a chapter in your mind. So yeah, I personally will not communicate